Hi guys, welcome to my podcast. Today my guest is Arina Pritch, the founder and the director of amazing leather couture brand Pritch London. So Arina, if you can tell me a bit about your background, about your childhood maybe stories,
okay,
something from the beginning.
Okay, well, I, since a very young age, since I was probably 5, I decided that I want to be in fashion, right? So I was thinking, okay, fashion design. I was sketching, and my mom, a few years ago, she gave me this album where she basically collected all the sketches from the age of 5.
Wow.
And all signed with dates, years, etc. of fashion, obviously. So basically, I was sketching clothes. I was sketching it everywhere we would go, like on tissues, on paper, on absolutely everything. So she basically created it. So I've been passionate about fashion from a very young age. And then I decided to go and study in Istituto Marangoni in London, where I graduated from fashion business course. And then I did luxury brand management course in Regent's University, which led me to start my journey of Pritch London. And 8 years ago, I started the company. And I'm still extremely passionate about it. It's my little baby, and I'm still growing it. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of a brief story of my career journey throughout years.
Yeah, well, Arina is definitely one of the most passionate people I know. The amount of energy and drive from her is just unbelievable. And so if you can tell us a bit more about the entrepreneur side of your business, how you started, maybe a little bit of stories, the ups and downs.
Okay. I started, so Pritch was a graduation project when I was in my last year doing my bachelor's in Marangoni in London, and it was just a project. And then one day I called my father because we had a very close relationship. I didn't call him, I sent him the project by email, and he calls me back. He's like, do you want to do it? And I'm 19 years old. I'm like, do what, sorry? He's like, do you want to do this business? I'm like, yeah, but Dad, you know, it requires investments, like time, team. He was like, okay. So while you'll be doing your master's in Regent's Business School, he was like, you have a year to prepare a full financial and business plan for the next 5 years of what exactly you want to do with Pritch and what exactly, you know, what is it? He was like, I need it to be sent to me on the 15th of July. In a year.
Wow.
I was like, wow, 15th of July. And I realized that it was very serious. So I was like, oh my God. So I took a financial tutor. I went to Italy to do the factory trip. I traveled the world to find the suppliers, to design the collection. I interviewed some people who I wanted to work with, designers, etc. So that took me a year. And then on the 15th of July, I called him before and I was like, listen, I'm ready to introduce my project to you. And I had everything laid out, collection was prepared, I've put a rail up, and I had a meeting with my father, and he was like, okay, go ahead.
Wow.
And I was like 20 years old at that time. I was like, oh my God, really? Like, go what? Okay, it looks great on paper, but I had no idea where to really start from. So I started with wholesale. I started, I wanted to sell my pieces to different shops and department stores, etc. But I didn't really, obviously, because the production was so small and so tiny, my price point was through the roof. Honestly, even today, and I know a lot of people, I don't know who the fuck bought my stuff back then. So, pardon my French. And then basically 3 years, actually 4 years, it was ups and downs. It was a lot of stupid mistakes because I obviously never worked for anyone. I didn't even do one internship in my life. So I basically learned everything on my own mistakes. I wasted a lot of time, not wasted, but I can't say that I regret doing those mistakes. However, because obviously without doing them, I wouldn't be where I am today. However, it was quite a difficult journey for me, and professionally and personally, because I was a bit lost from time to time, nothing was working out. And I was so stressed about the fact that nothing is working out that I was like in this little stress bubble, and nothing, literally whatever I did ended up with failure. So at some point I sat down with myself, because I read quite a lot of, back then I read quite a lot of psychological books and, self-growth, etc. And I sat down and I was like, okay, Arina, you have a problem. You are stuck in the stress bubble, and that's the only reason why nothing is happening for you. And then I kind of worked on myself for a while, and then I decided to let it all go and stop stressing out. And I was like, okay, whatever needs to come my way, it will come my way regardless. Obviously, I continued working a lot 24/7, like I do even today. Maybe today a little bit less.
No, you're definitely one of the most hardworking people I know.
Thank you.
For sure.
So that was a journey. Then 4 years ago, we decided to completely change the model. And
if you don't mind me asking, when was this breaking point when you actually decided to sit down with yourself and figure out what was going on?
I had a few, but I think the first one was after 2 years since I started. Then another one in another 2 years. So I had two major ones when I was really literally about to give up. I was like, it's not working out. It's not happening. I'm doing something wrong. Nothing is going according to the plan. And I was like, okay. So the last time I had it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to give up until I achieve my goal. And that was 4 years ago. And that's when I made a very, very smart decision. I consider it a smart decision for my business and for myself, because I completely switched the business model from being concentrating on wholesale to being being concentrated on private sales. And that was a major point for my business, because obviously everything started going in a very different direction. And we had direct access to our clients. We managed to establish some great relationships. And at the moment, we have around 600 private clients around the world who love our brand. Some of them are collectors. Others probably bought a few pieces. But it's amazing because we know who our client is.
That's very important.
And I think that with wholesale, and to be honest with you, considering this whole COVID situation, it's something that really, really helped us because we didn't lose our wholesalers. We didn't lose, retailers. We didn't lose business. So our clients, they were there before COVID and they're there after COVID. So for us, yes, it was a big transition, and obviously everyone is in trouble right now financially. And we are not really an exception for that. But it was, I think that decision of my life to change that business model was one of the most important business-wise. Yeah,
I see. Well, it is quite important to actually sit down with yourself sometimes and reflect. And I guess COVID was actually a good time. Good time for everyone.
To reflect.
Yes. So did you actually have any new thoughts that all this COVID situation brought to you? Did you have any reflection moments that helped your business during that time?
For sure. I think that, again, we didn't shift and we didn't change the business model, but we just decided to add a few things on it. And we started to concentrate more on e-commerce for our smaller range, smaller products like accessories, etc. And that definitely was thanks to the whole COVID situation, because otherwise, we were perfectly fine just working the way we were working and growing sales and growing number of clients and establishing more and more amazing relationships with them. And so COVID definitely led me, because I had to think quick and I had to really decide, what am I doing? Where is the revenue stream? What is it? How? And thanks to COVID, really, because otherwise I was thinking about it before, but not as strongly.
I see. And since our podcast today is more entrepreneur related, I would like to know a bit more about the structure of your company, if you don't mind telling us a bit about your team, how everything is working, how do you manage everything? Because I know you're very precise and super organized.
Not in everything. Sometimes I'm extremely messy, and sometimes it's like, oh my God, what's going on? And my head is about to explode. And that happens almost every day. But
well, you were the one to introduce me to Google Calendar. I had no idea before what it was. Now I even sometimes use it. So.
I can't live without Google Calendar. I wouldn't be here if it was not written on Google Calendar. I would just simply would not make it.
So tell us a bit about the management side of things.
So in terms of structure, I started by myself, and then I'm just going to tell you kind of like a history, right?
Yep.
because I think it's important, and I also made quite a few mistakes there. So I started by myself, and then Federica Braghieri, who is our head of design and product, even today since day one, really, she joined the company on the second collection. So really 6 months after I launched, and so she deals with all the creative side of things, product, materials, orders. Everything to do with product and design, it's Federica. So we started like that, and then I had an assistant, I believe. Then, because assistant is extremely important, because you can't concentrate on very important things when you have to deal with quite a lot of manual day-to-day activities and operational things. And as you know, if you are the only person, you are the boss in terms of, it's your baby. You lead not only the creative side of things, but also strategic side of things. You are the one who should be looking for partnerships, for, kind of things of more bigger scale, right? And so I got an assistant. Then we had PR agencies, which was more outsourced. Then we got rid of all PR agencies that we worked with. We had one in Paris, one in New York, and one in London. So we had 3 at some point. Then we were working with, because obviously everything that we produce in-house at the moment. In the beginning, we were also outsourcing that. So we were spending a lot of time, and we had issues with quality control because it was all outsourced. Then I made a decision to open our own production, and that really saved time, saved money, saved a lot of problems, and solved a lot of problems that we had back then. So that was the moment when I started to have seamstresses, tailors, etc. Then we hired a junior designer assistant to Federica. And then, obviously, when we had a shop, we had a shop together. My right hand, left leg, and my biggest helper, Alex, joined the team as well. And now the recent news to the team is, at the moment, we also have 2 new sales clients relations managers.
Oh, wow.
So
congratulations. That's a big step.
Thank you very much. Thank you. But because, again, you can't concentrate and do everything by yourself. You need help, and you need professional people, and it's very hard to find those people. The amount of people that I worked with, and then, then they left, or I made them leave, or whatever. It's a lot, and you have to click. If you don't click, there is no point wasting your time and that person's time.
Absolutely.
So for me, it was very difficult to find someone, and it's always very difficult to find someone who I can work with and my team likes, my core existing team. So it's important, and it's hard. Like, for example, for the 2 new sales clients managers, I actually had to hire a recruiter's agency to do it, because I've interviewed probably around 80 people.
80 people?
Yeah,
oh my God.
Around 80 people. Not everyone in person. Some had phone interviews, etc. Straight away after phone interview, I knew that it's not my cup of tea. So it took me a while. So in terms of the structure of the business, it's obviously me. Then we have Federica and her team. So all the tailors, all the seamstresses, junior designer, and everything to do with product is kind of one branch and one department. And obviously everything to do with sales, client relations, marketing, etc. is another department, which I personally run. And then we also work with the outsourced team that deal with our e-commerce. So that's freelancers. And I have to say that I made a few mistakes in terms of organization, because sometimes I feel in the wrong positions, which I really didn't. I could avoid. I could do it without having someone dedicated to that position. I just had to structure it differently, restructure it.
I see.
So, and then when I realized the last time I realized that it was something to do with social media and content creator and digital kind of. Not copyright, digital content management. I've hired a girl, and she was lovely, but it didn't work out between us, and probably because it wasn't the right time or not the right fit for the, for her and for us as well. But it, after that, during COVID, I realized that actually I don't need that position. It's not the most important person that I need. And obviously, when you don't have unlimited budgets, you have to choose where you invest that
100%.
That sum of money. And I think it's very important, especially when you have your own business, to understand, okay, because everything, in the end of the day, it's all about sales. So you have to really invest into sales.
Yeah.
Investing into a salesperson, even if it's extremely expensive for your business, but you know that by, let's say, hiring that person, you could potentially increase the revenues and etc. It's one thing. But when you hire someone just to fill in the position, which is half, there, what's the point? So, and in terms of organization, you have to be super organized and you have to be on top of things. And what I personally am lacking in, I think, and I'm trying to work on it now, is having more communication within the team members. You need to have a meeting every week, even if it is 5 minutes meeting. You have to all kind of, recoup, look at what happened last week, look at what's going on next week, etc. So it is extremely important, and I don't, unfortunately, always do that.
I see.
So there are things in my team as well that can definitely be improved by me.
I see. Well, there is obviously always space for improvement.
Of course.
Do you have any weekly routine or any daily routine that you can share with that you're very proud of and you think that it actually helps a lot your business? Do you have any
for me
traditions
in terms of
in terms
business?
of business for now, and then later on I'll ask you about your personal.
In terms of business, well, after obviously a lot of things changed during COVID, and we had to restructure, and everything just went downhill in terms of management because we were trying to survive, right?
Of course.
So there was no management, there was no, whatever came our way, we had to deal with it.
Yeah.
But post-COVID, at the moment, we have a weekly meeting every Monday. And me personally, every Monday, I focus on more strategic kind of things. And every single Monday, I'm in the office. Sometimes all the other days of the week I might not even be there because I really don't have to be there because it's more product related. But so I made myself a rule that on Monday you have to be there. On Sundays I prepare for that. I prepare myself, I prepare some notes, I'm thinking about team
always
members.
See your Instagram that your Sunday is always working.
My Sunday evenings and afternoons are working, So that's so Monday, Sunday, and then during the week, it's quite hard for us because, of course, with our clients, it's not like we try to dedicate, let's say, 2 days a week only for fittings with clients, but it's impossible because people are busy and, you have to accommodate them. You have to accommodate their time schedule and timeline and make sure that you actually offer them something that's comfortable and convenient. And sometimes we even have to reschedule our team meetings because something is, a client is coming or a fitting is taking place or whatever else. So for us, I think that our schedule is very flexible. Like, for example, the 2 new clients managers, they don't even work in the office. They work however they want to work. I really don't mind. It's completely up to them. But two days a week we are together. So it's like Monday and Thursday. And the rest, it kind of varies. I don't really have a particular routine. Like boom, 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 because it's not really it's more of a, clients relations based business rather than something technical.
I see.
And obviously, beginning of each month, I try to schedule everything for the whole month, and so that I know where I am. That's what I learned from you. For sure, because before for me it was all chaotic. Still is, but I try. No, but it's very important. Doesn't matter. You are also a very creative person, but at the same time, you kind of switch your creative hat to, your entrepreneur hat. And I don't know what
you're always in your interpreter hat. And
I'm not really. Unfortunately, I wish I was way more creative than I am, and I wish I had way more time to explore my creativity, but at the moment I need to focus on business.
My last career-related question would be about your production. So you mentioned that now everything is in-house. I know that before you outsourced your production, so now you moved everything in-house, even including the accessories. So if you can tell us a bit about the production side of things.
We only produce main collections and all the made-to-measure and made-to-order pieces in-house. All our, not all, but 90% of our accessories are made in Italy. And so basically they are outsourced. Because we don't have the right machinery and we don't have the right, technical element of things to produce accessories in-house. And we work with some amazing suppliers and factories in Italy that we have been working with for many, many years now.
Which we can definitely see from the quality and from all the details.
Thank you.
And now my favorite part of the podcast is more about you as a person, about your life philosophy, about your personal habits as well. So if you can tell us a bit about your life values, what are the most important things for you in life? If you can mention those.
Confidence.
Wow. Tell me more.
To me, the most important, not important, but I would say charming thing in everything really is confidence and sophistication and being very true to yourself. Because once you have harmony within yourself, everything else, everything around you is going to happen organically. And so to me, that's the most important thing is to be true to yourself, no matter what. You don't have to pretend, you don't have to bend over, you don't have to do things that you don't believe in and you don't stand for. So to me, that is definitely number one. Also, I think that health is extremely important, of course. I mean, it's not even discussable, So I train almost every day. And that keeps my kind of personal routine and me personally healthy and concentrated and just in a good spirit. So I think that...
If you don't mind, just a little question about the confidence, about the first thing that you mentioned. Is it something that you worked on and you developed, or you feel that you've always been so confident, or you had to read something, or maybe some people gave you some good advices? How to develop it?
That's a very good question. I think that I was probably born confident to begin with. Luckily. But I also went through a transition in my life when I was reading a lot about, I was trying to not find myself, but I was trying to find, I guess, my beliefs in a way. I wouldn't call it religion, no, but it was more finding what I believe in. And I definitely believe in only one thing, which is myself. Because in the end of the day, you are the person who makes your own life, your surroundings, you choose your friends. You, unfortunately or fortunately, you can't choose your family, but you make the decisions about everything, every single thing of your life. And that is my belief. But in order for me to get there, and also it's the same with confidence, yourself and believe in yourself, and confidence is pretty much the same thing to me. And I read a lot of books, religious books. I read.
That's interesting. That's something new
I
for me
read
to learn.
Translation of Quran, from translation of Quran to Bible, to Buddhist books, to Torah, to you name it. And I can't really call myself a religious person, but I'm definitely a believer in something stronger than us. I believe in energy, and energies to me are also very important. And again, it all kind of goes around belief in yourself, confidence, and energies. Because it's the same thing. The energy that you send out, the energy that you portray is what you're going to get. And vice versa. So... Sorry, what was the question again?
What was the question?
I got carried away.
No, but I love it. So the question was actually how you built your confidence, but then you said that you researched what your beliefs were, and by reading about religions, you discovered that you believe in yourself and so on.
I think it's not only it's not really about by reading about religions, no, but it's reading
it's part
the
of
core kind of things in life that we should all be, or we should all, believe in, and etc. So that definitely kind of not built my confidence, but it shaped me for sure. And I think that during the whole life you are learning things. And another thing that really kind of pushed me harder in terms of building my confidence, etc., was people that I met, because I was very fortunate to be in the right places at the right time, and to meet the people who I've met that are phenomenal, and some of them are my mentors still. And I think that when you let energies and things to come your way, but when you're open about it, the right things will come. If you're like inconfident or whatever else, it's just, you won't get anywhere. If you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to get anywhere.
100% agree.
So, that to me was kind of how what I think about confidence, how it shaped me.
I see. And do you have, we all have obviously our inner dialogue with ourselves. Do you have any certain things that you tell to yourself, or for example, in the morning you wake up and you kind of...
You fucking rock.
Yes! Oh, wonderful. I love it. Do you have an evening one as well?
You know what? You're going to laugh, because when I actually, even on my online banking, that you can put a message to yourself.
Yeah.
It says, you rock.
Oh,
so every time I open my online banking, you rock. And I'm like, yes.
Wow, this is your life mantra.
It is. I think that, you just need to be positive, really. And you just need to be happy. Like, instead of having a glass half empty, you see the glass half full. So.
Love it. So the optimism is one of your values as well.
For sure. Optimism, kindness, caring. And I love to fill people in with positive vibes, because it's, we live in a very strange little place called world during 2020. So it's definitely important. If you can do something to make others a little bit more happier, do it.
Amazing. I love it. Great. And also, if you can share some of the life lessons. So you obviously shared some career-related ones. Did you have any turning points in your life, in your personal life, that you learned something, and that was a very important point which really changed you? If you don't mind sharing that.
Of course I don't. Changing me. I'm quite a stubborn person, and I've always been like this since a very young age. And I always knew what I was doing and where I'm going and what I want in my life. And luckily, I knew exactly what I wanted to do from a very young age. So I didn't have this, process of finding myself. I knew that I wanted to be in fashion. I didn't know where, how, and what, but I knew that I wanted to be in fashion. And life lessons. I'm sure there were plenty, but I probably just can't remember the majority of them. I think that you should not try. The big lesson that I had at the beginning of my business journey, I was very confident. I was a bit almost scared, because I was.
You were scared?
Yeah, I would arrive to those in the beginning. It was a very short period of time, because obviously I didn't really know what I was doing. But I would go to big meetings with these big fishes. And I would be almost like this little, begging. Oh my God, please take me to your store. Please take me to your department store or whatever. And no one would take me. And then I was so miserable. And that was just before that transition that I told you about, year 4. And I was so miserable. I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. You just sit there, wait for someone to decide what's going to happen in your life. Shouldn't wait, you should decide by yourself. And that's when I think it was one of the best decisions and lessons for me is that I decided to believe in myself and just focus on what I know how to do, which was people's relations. And, you know, relationships with people, relationships with clients, partners, affiliates, whoever. I think that I'm a very kind of a people's person. And, but again, you shouldn't be scared of being you. You know, you shouldn't be scared of not opening up. You shouldn't be scared to ask things and to get refused, you know. And that to me was probably a big lesson. Like you just need to, just need to be determined and believe in yourself and keep going, keep pushing. Yes. Because if it doesn't work today, it will work tomorrow.
We'll make a little short gift out of this part, and I will listen to it every morning. Like, you have to believe in yourself. Yes, to get the live version. No, I think this is the most important advice that you can actually give to young creatives or young entrepreneurs, because we all have doubts in ourselves, and this is it's kind of normal, but you have to face it and you have to be bold. This is one of your words as well. You have to be courageous and just go for it, believing in yourself.
I think that another thing is that for young creators and young entrepreneurs, it's very important to listen to yourself, because in the beginning of my business journey, I had so many people advising me and telling me to change things, and I would go and change those things, and I would change them over and over and over again because someone somewhere told me that I have to change it.
Yes.
And at some point, you know, everyone thinks that they're so smart and that they know everything about your business and they know everything that you have to do. And then the question I'm sometimes ask myself, like, okay, why are you teaching me that then? Why don't you do anything? And so it's my biggest advice actually is to listen to yourself and stick to what you believe in terms of what works best for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't listen to any advisors,
consultants.
Any friends,
oh my God.
No, some consultants can be amazing. But
some of them.
But you still need to. You know, you have your way. That's what you've decided you want to do. Stick to it.
Yeah.
Don't go like this and try and change things and improve things and whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's your way. It's your business.
Yeah, and that's what makes it unique. Exactly. Because if you copy someone, then it's going to be someone else's thing. So, yeah, that's a very good advice. Thank you.
Pleasure. I've been there, done that myself. Yeah. From
the first-hand experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Very valuable. So, and to sum up, I would love to get some advices on maybe some entrepreneur movies or books, or it doesn't have to be with related to entrepreneurship, just something that really gave value and maybe was life-changing for you in terms of movies, books, some advices.
One of my favorite books is The Power of Now. And
I haven't read that one yet, but I heard a lot about it.
It's very good. It really changes your perception on time, because you need to live now, today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, now and today, because what you do today is what's going to lead you to tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the reason why you are here today is because of yesterday. So really concentrate on that.
Now.
That book is definitely one of my favorite books. Highly recommend to read it to everyone. And also The Art of Living by Dalai Lama, I think. Yeah, I think it's Dalai Lama. Movies. To be honest with you, there were a lot of nice, amazing movies, but I can't say that I have one that absolutely changed my life.
Doesn't have to be one.
Changed my life. A movie, my favorite movie. Interesting. I don't think I have one actually.
Maybe you can make one. By Pritch. Yeah, by Arina Pritch.
I'll let you know.
That would be the way.
I'll let you know, guys. What else was there?
And maybe YouTube channel or like some personas that really inspire you.
Madonna.
Ooh. You need to dress her in Pritch, actually.
I would love to. But I think she is a fucking rock star. She is just absolutely amazing.
Have you seen the documentary about her?
Yeah.
She's so hardworking.
She's hardworking. She's herself. again, she believes in herself and she has been pushing for her whole life.
Yeah.
And she's definitely one of my inspirations. And I would say, I have a friend of mine who's actually an inspiration, but that's probably for another time.
Mysterious friend.
Mysterious, yeah. In terms of music, should we talk about music?
Yes, of course.
The genre of music that I can listen to in any mood, anywhere, is jazz. And I think that jazz is the music for your soul, the music for your thoughts, the music for your mind. And I just highly recommend everyone to just enjoy jazz.
Wow. Enjoy jazz. For some reason, I thought it would be rock because of the style.
I like rock, but you can't listen to rock 24/7, can you?
Yeah, well, jazz is it's a music for thinking for me. I was in a jazz festival last year, and I had such a strange feeling. It was like a journey. My mind completely switched off. I had like a flow of ideas.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it just
jazz.
And especially when it's live, it's.
Where did you go, Montreal?
No, I went to. There is a big jazz festival in Ukraine, apparently, in the western part, and it's like a lot of European. It was mostly like European and American artists there. It was amazing. It was absolutely mind blowing. Yeah. So when things are back to normal, maybe we can go to a jazz festival. All right. Amazing. Arina, thank you so much for such a meaningful conversation. I'm sure that there is a lot to take from your words for the young people who want to start their successful career journey as well.
Thank you. And wish you all the best. Good luck.
And
believe your own brand.
Yeah, oh my God, that's the best advice.
That's the best advice. Just don't do it, guys.
To be honest, I support that, but up to you.
Up to you.
Yes, and to finish off, we would like to show you some amazing pieces by Pritch London and to get more insight into your new collection.
Okay. So this is one of our best-selling belts, best-selling accessories actually. It is a corset belt, which is for one size for all. One of my favorite pieces. And you can tie it in many different ways. So you can tie it either with a bow here or a knot. You can tie it with a bow center front, or you can tie it at the back. And it doesn't matter how much you eat, because you can always eat. This is actually one of our new developments. It's a prototype for now. This is a trapeze bag, and it's beautiful because inside you have place for your iPhone, place for your keys, and place for your card. And the perfect COVID accessory. There you go. You can match. It's one of my favorite pieces. Mini Pritch. Well, if you're super sophisticated, you can wear it like this.
So you can actually take it off from the chain and you can place it on your corset belt.
Another one, which I love, is my favorite corset, which has a built-in structure inside. So you can do push-up, whatever, so basically it's like properly tight, beautiful corset. And it goes with our wide leg pants. Then my other love, which is ready to go, which is absolutely beautiful. It's like, wow, Trinity. I love it. Stunning. Little dresses. Another one is this one, which is beautiful corset dress, and my absolute favorite. Boom! This is the piece we made especially for Cannes Film Festival last year, and it features over 1,000 sequins, which are all made either out of alligator or nappa. And basically it's recycling, because we operate zero waste policy, And basically these are the materials which are the cut-offs from the main production line.